My name is James from The Paint People, and today I'm going to help you make sure you're picking the right paint for your home. We do painting and decorating videos several times a week, but all of us at the Paint People team have been working in the industry for several decades at this point. So if you're getting ready to start a paint project, let us be your guide to make sure you're making the right choice of paint. We talk a lot about color on this channel, but before you finalize your color choice, it's the product itself that you should be focusing on. The first question you need to ask yourself is, where are you painting? I'm going to assume that you're painting inside or in the interior of your home. And if you're specifically looking for exterior paint tips, you can fast forward to this part of the video. You're welcome. Honestly, a lot of my interior painting advice can apply to the outside as well. So maybe just stick around and watch it all. Normally, paint companies have different product lines for interior and exterior usage, and each one will be optimized for each purpose. Where if you're painting the inside of your home, you're probably going to want to go with any of the paints that are meant for residential interior use. The paint cans themselves may not specifically say they're meant for the inside of houses, but on the other hand, there are paint products that are intended for commercial use, which I normally do not recommend for residential use. Commercial paint products are normally intended for spaces like offices and storefronts where they're being touched and therefore touched up on a regular basis. I'm pretty sure none of us wants to touch up the walls in our house every couple months, which is why the more premium paint products are normally going to serve you better in the long run. This leads me to my next point. What's your budget? This may seem like a loaded question, but it's a really important one. I feel like with paint, the concept of you get what you pay for really does apply. As you venture into those higher price points for your paint, generally speaking, of course, you tend to get added features like improved coverage, durability, color retention, and so on. Those features can conceivably save you money in the long run because you're less likely to repaint in the near future. It's ultimately up to you to decide how high do you want to go in regards to quality, but just keep in mind that there are real tangible benefits as you go with those higher end paint lines within any major company. Unlike Balenciaga, which charges $2,000 for a pair of my uncle's old running shoes. I want to see that company. And I like fashion too. The third question you can ask yourself is, what surface am I painting? The paint you use on your ceiling is going to be very different than the paint you're using on your baseboards. And this difference is normally reflected in how reflective the paint is. See what I did there? The sheen or the paint finish that you use has multiple impacts on your overall look. There is the aesthetic standpoint where a shiny look is very different from a flat or a matte appearance. This is accentuated if there are any imperfections or textural components to whatever you're painting. The more shiny the paint is, the more you'll see those little bumps, scuffs, or imperfections. This is not ideal in a lot of cases because usually you want to hide those, but you may also have some really interesting, intricate woodwork that you want to accentuate, and a glossy paint will do that. Paint finishes are largely a preference thing, but generally you can usually count on shinier finishes having more durability, meaning you can clean those shinier paints a little more easily. This is why you'll often see surfaces like baseboards and doors having a shiny satin or semi-gloss sheen, mainly because they require more regular cleaning. And then the flatter finishes will just do a better job at hiding those imperfections, which is very desirable on ceilings especially, but even walls in a lot of cases. Or you can just throw the rule book out the window and put high gloss on your ceiling and Aura matte on your baseboards. Why not? That's also another benefit of going with those high-end products like Aura, because even the extremely low sheen products will still have a good amount of washability. So if you really did want a flat finish on baseboards, then just make sure you're going with a premium product that has a washable matte finish. Very important. So we've talked about interior products, the different types of grades of interior paint and finishes, but there's another consideration you can make, which is, which room are you painting? This can help inform you on whether you may need a specialty product of some sort. I would say the most common rooms that can benefit from this are kitchens and especially bathrooms. These are spaces in your home that normally contain a lot more moisture, even with proper ventilation. So you can actually use products like Aura Bath & Spa, which is designed for rooms just like that. Not only do you have that excellent washability, but you also have moisture and mildew resistance that not many other products have. So you can rest assured that your steamy hot showers aren't going to ruin your beautifully painted walls. You put the cheap stuff on there, it's just gonna peel, and nobody likes peeling. Unless it's a banana. Who doesn't like a banana split? There's also things like cabinets that would require a specialty paint like melamine or lacquer or a waterborne alkyd product like Advance, which acts like an oil-based paint and gives you that solid hard finish that you want on those cabinets. What's cool with it is you can also clean it up with soap and water, which you can't say for any oil-based product. And no, I didn't forget all of you that wanted some information on exterior paint, so let's talk about that quickly. A lot of the principles are still the same if you're painting outside, but it's extremely important to make sure you're using exterior products outside. The conditions outside are much different than the ones inside, unless you like to run your sprinkler in your family room a few times a week. Exterior paint is just designed to withstand the harsh elements, whether it's rain, sleet, snow, or even the sun's harsh rays. You also may notice that exterior paint finishes can sometimes differ from what's available on the interior side of things. Instead of flat, matte, pearl, semi-gloss, you may notice that exterior paints come in things like low luster, soft gloss, or high gloss. Again, it's usually a preference thing, but I find that the lower sheen exterior paints are great for the body of a house, for those larger areas, while the glossier finishes on things like trim or front doors especially look really, really good. And then you have soft gloss, which kind of becomes a happy medium finish that is suitable either way. So by figuring out where and what you're painting, you can start to really figure out which paint is right for your project. If it's still kind of confusing to you, you can always ask your local paint store, or feel free to reach out to us in the comment section below, and we'll be happy to help you out. See you in the next video.